A battle of unbeatens draw the football state championships to a close under the bright lights of Carter Finley on the biggest stage of these players' lives. East champ Northern Nash, West champ East Lincoln vying for the holy grail of high school football, the 3A state title. We're live from Raleigh, North Carolina, the NCHSAA State Football Championship, presented by West Shore Home. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Carter Finley. Patrick Keenis alongside former ECU standout Jay Sohnhalter. And Jay, just 4 years ago, Northern Nash endured its 8th straight losing season. They play for a state title for the first time in 2 decades. East Lincoln vying for its 3rd state title overall. What's the scene set tonight?
Well, this is going to be a great game, and both teams look very similar to each other. They're balanced on the offensive end where they can run it and throw it at a high level. Then over on the defensive side, they look similar with their front seven. They're disciplined, they're athletic, and they're physical.
All right, great talent. High prospect players on this field. Who are some of the players that you're going to be following tonight, Jay?
Well, for East Lincoln, they've got a great one in Ben Cutter. He's committed to West Virginia. He'll line up on the outside right in the middle, and he's the leader on this defense. 182 tackles. He's a physical defender, and he's a guy that you're going to see flash on your screen tonight. Over on the other side for Northern Nash, Keno Jones has been efficient this year. 38 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. He makes good decisions. He's shown his leadership with his teammates. Everybody follows him, and he expects to have a big game tonight.
All right, keys for this 3A title. Ingles, food for thought. Low prices, love the savings.
Limiting penalties and winning the turnover battle will be the focus for East Lincoln. That's what they've been preaching in practice this week, making sure they play a clean ball game. For Northern Nash, it's about picking up first downs, sustaining drives, and moving the chains, and then protecting the football as well. And these type of ball games with this atmosphere, the team that protects the ball and limits mistakes is probably going to be who wins.
All right, both teams 15-0. Northern Nash, the top seed out of the East. East Lincoln, the 4 seed. They knocked off Kings Mountain, the top seed in the regional semifinals. With more on tonight's matchup, we welcome in the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Sam Hyman. Sam?
Thanks so much, Patrick. The energy is starting to rise even more here down on the field. Let's start with this Northern Nash team. In 2017, they went 1-10. 2018, 3-8. I had a chance to catch up with Northern Nash head coach Andrew Ferris, and he told me that he did not envision a turnaround this quickly. In fact, he questioned whether or not this is something that he really wanted to do. He was the offensive line coach in 2017, transitioned to head coach in 2018, but what a turnaround it has been. Meanwhile, on the other side, East Lincoln, I spoke to Ben Cutter, the linebacker, our player to watch, and asked him, when did you know this team was good enough to make a state title? And he said after the loss to Statesville in the playoffs last year, a week later, 40 guys were in the weight room, and it was voluntary. So he knew the mentality was set right then and there. We are moments away from kickoff. It's the North Carolina High School Athletic Association State Championships. Class 3A, East Lincoln and Northern Nash. Straight ahead, presented by West Shore Home.
Under the lights of Carter Finley Stadium on the campus of North Carolina State University, 3A state championship game, Northern Nash and East Lincoln. 46 degrees right now in Raleigh. It's 93 in that Mustang mascot costume. That mascot is the warmest person in the building here tonight. And how about Northern Nash? How hot has this team become over the last couple of years? Undefeated, 15-0, and Jay, as they walk out to midfield for the coin toss, they play for a title for the first time in 20 years, but it took a 4th down and goal with under a minute to go, touchdown pass last week to get Northern Nash here.
And they beat 71st, 23-22, so they gained a lot of confidence from that ball game. And anytime you go undefeated, you're going to fight through a little bit of adversity. They had some close ball games in the playoffs. They beat Southern Durham 21-14 again last week to get to this point. They made it happen, but they're excited for this opportunity.
And meanwhile, East Lincoln in the white uniforms, the orange and white they will wear tonight. They knocked off the top seed Kings Mountain in the regional semifinals, played a flawless first quarter. David Lubowitz thought if we're going to have any nerves, it will show up in that game. It didn't, but the nerves came up the following week in the regional final against South Point. because that's a team they knew well. They did a 7-on-7 scrimmage, a lot of great relationship with that program. Low scoring 14-7 win against East Linclon, back to a title game for the first time since 2014.
Well, and they won that ball game in a defensive battle. And for them, they've had some blowouts, some games where they've scored in the 50s and even 60s this year. But to win that game 14-7, went down to the wire. They really grew from that ball game heading into this week's preparation.
Both teams 15-0. There is Andrew Ferris, fifth-year head coach of the Knights. Offensive line coach for 1 year before he was hired on as the head coach, former assistant at Hunt High School in Wilson. He has engineered this awesome turnaround for Northern Nash. It's 46 degrees and he's in shorts on the sideline. That's a North Carolina football-bred guy, as is David Lubowitz in his 6th year, but he's been on the staff since 2007. He replaced Mike Bias, who guided East Linclon to its 2 state titles in 2012 and 2014. As a matter of fact, Mike Bias is going to be coming up here for this game from Rock Hill, South Carolina, where he's a coach now in support of East Linclon. And David Lewitz, 15-0 with his squad on the Western Foothills Conference. I mean, this is a team with great senior leadership. And East Linclon will kick things off to open up the 3A championship game. Crowd still surging in. And when the Knights came out of the tunnel about 20 minutes ago, it was as if, I think, seismologists felt a shake with the earth because it's been so long, and an amazing turnaround for the Northern Nash Knights. You know, there are some other really good programs in the Rocky Mount area, Rocky Mount and the other Nash schools, but here they are, Northern Nash for the first time in 20 years. Time for the NC 529 kickoff. NC 529, never too early or too late to start saving for your child's education. They've waited a lifetime for the moment, and the moment is here. The approach, and we're underway for the 3A title game. Returnable kick for Northern Nash. Straight up the middle goes Randall King. And King met with resistance around the 30-yard line. And that's where the first drive will begin, behind senior quarterback Keno Jones, who hooked up in the final minute last week with Ashton Rhodes on a 4th down play to beat 71st 23-22. It was a game-ending 5-minute drive with many big 3rd and 4th down conversions to lead Northern Nash to the title game. Jones has thrown 38 touchdowns, only 6 picks. And he's out of the gun on first down. And he will give it off straight ahead. Not much, maybe a couple of yards on the first down carry by Daiwan Mitchell. So we take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by West Shore Home.
Well, this is a talented group of skilled players for Keno Jones to throw to. Mitchell's a really good running back, but tonight I think the key is up front, the offensive line, making sure they have balance in the running game.
West Shore Home, bringing happiness to every home. Quick wide receiver screen to the outside, splitting the defense, and there goes Randall King to the 20, inside the 10, spun down at the 3-yard line.
A great play called by Garrett Wingate, the offensive coordinator for Northern Nash. Quick little screenplay to get the ball out to King, and then you got to make one man miss. He made everybody miss. Great job going down the sideline, almost able to carry it all the way into the end zone.
67 yards and immediately into the talk it out NC red zone. First down carry to the right side, and in goes Keno Jones. They scored last week with 58 seconds left to reach the championship. They score in 59 seconds in the opening quarter of the state championship.
They easily move the ball down the field, but that's the start you want. In this atmosphere, this first quarter is so important to get off to the right start, and the offense goes out on the field. Couple plays, explosive plays. They move it down easily, and then they execute inside the 5-yard line.
I think that's worth the 20-year wait for the Knights and the Knight fans. Goodness.
They're ready to go.
And the extra point, Bryson Jenkins. And he misses. will not diminish the Knights sideline. 6-0, less than a minute in.
And this offense, they can run the ball, but early on the game plan, get the ball out on the perimeter. And Jones, who's been so accurate throughout the year with his decision-making as well as so high level, quickly gets it out. And you let your playmakers do the rest. And over for East Lincoln, it's all about the response. Momentum shifts over to Northern Nash. What are you going to do now when you get the ball in the offensive end?
Oh, man. Could not have drawn up the opening drive any better than that for Andrew Ferris. Team went 11-2, knocked out in the third round last year by Scotland, but defied all of the expectations to go 15-0, run right through the Big East Conference. And again, that heart-stopping final minute victory in their East Regional Final last week. Jenkins with an outstanding leg. That's just the 5th extra point he's missed all year. He's banged in all 9 field goal attempts, which is highly unusual for a high school kicker. And Jenkins will kick it away for Northern Nash. The NCHSAA 529 kickoff. Never too early or too late to start saving for your child's education. Big hit after the short across the field kick was reeled in. And East Lincoln's L.J. Forney got greeted at the state championship game.
A little pooch kick just to test the special teams unit early on. Just a miscommunication. Good job focusing when your teammate comes and hits you. That was important to secure the ball.
All right, so East Lincoln gets his first offensive touch. Third-year starting quarterback Tyler Mazzell. He threw 35 touchdowns against only 4 picks. And the front ball comes loose on the first down. Have recovered the football. Connor Banker on it. 65 seconds of ecstasy for the Knights in this opening quarter.
Perfect start. This is Baker coming off the edge from his linebacker position. The ball just slips out, and he sees it rolling and jumps on it. And now for Northern Nash, you get gifted an opportunity. Can you take advantage of it, get another score?
And on first down, pass goes down the right side, tipped away, incomplete, well played by East Lincoln's Keandre Walker. As we take a look at the East Lincoln defense, brought to you by West Shore Home.
This defensive front is very athletic, and they're big. Only 3 down linemen. And then they'll play with 4 linebackers, led by Cutter, going to West Virginia. This is a tall, rangy group in the back end. Keandre Walker's committed to Virginia.
West Shore Home bringing happiness to every home. On second down, running plays stacked up around the 27-yard line. Well, for the Mustangs, it's time now to just take a breath, get your bearings about yourself, and don't get buried here in the first couple of minutes. And the defense has stepped up, defended a long pass play toward the end zone, and forced now a long third down situation for Keno Jones. Just trying to withstand a tsunami of Northern Nash Knights energy. On the keeper, Keno Jones can't sneak through. There was a hole, it evaporated immediately, and that's Ben Cutter for the Mustangs, who helped out Diego Niera as well to polish off Jones.
But we'll see Northern Nash do this. Spread the field out to give Jones an opportunity to run the ball. He's rushed for 756 yards this year. But this defense, they were prepared. Good job by Cutter making the play.
The leg is there for Bryson Jenkins, but they will go on 4th down and 7 from the 27-yard line. Empty backfield. Jones. One-on-one coverage, lofts it, and it's a little bit too far. Looking for Yassine Davis McKinney. There's a little bit of a hold up earlier in the play, but no flag came up.
Yeah, they were wrestling down there, and there was an opportunity as one-on-one coverage. And they let them play through that contact. For Northern Nash, not able to get points on the board on that drive, but early on, we can see how explosive this offense is.
That's a win for the Mustangs right there.
Huge for them to regroup after the turnover.
All right, so on downs, back in the hands of the Mustangs and Tyler Mazzell. Nobody in the backfield with him after a muffed exchange on their only offensive play. Forced out of the pocket and throws it away. Take a look at the offensive starters for East Lincoln, sponsored by West Shore Home.
This is a group with Christopher Daly leading the way from the running back position. 1,558 yards out on the outside. Good weapons for Mizell to throw the ball to. Another group up front that's very athletic, that's gotten movement this year, getting up to the second level.
West Shore Home bringing happiness to every home. On the pistol formation, Markel Clark goes in motion. And Little there again with a nice defense, charged up for Northern Nash. Carson Jenkins on that tackle as we take a look at the West Shore Home starting defense for the Knights.
Well, Jenkins is a key player on this defense. Right in the middle of the lineup, number 48. He makes all the calls. Connor Baker, another outstanding veteran. And up front, I think it's going to be really important for this defensive line to get penetration, get pressure on Mizell, and also slow down the running game.
West Shore Home bringing happiness to every home. Already the second possession for the Mustangs, trailing by a touchdown. 3rd and 8. Pressure, bottle up, looking for Mizell. Nowhere to go. Flattened after a loss of a couple of yards. And for Northern Nash, Chris Manning, the big defensive end.
Manning 6'2", 300 pounds, and look at him just continuing to fight, moving his feet, and comes over and makes the play. His teammates kept him in the pocket as he rolls out there, forced him back into big number 79.
So it'll be the first punt of the evening for East Lincoln. That's a low knuckler that will take a Mustang roll inside the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. 47 on the punt. Early 6-0 uppercut landed by Northern Nash in the first quarter. Six 0 Northern Nash on top of East Lincoln. We've played almost 4 minutes in this opening quarter. It feels like this game's been going on for an hour and a half with all the action so far. This is now the 3rd possession for Northern Nash in this first quarter. Stretch handoff, and Mitchell gets the corner outside the numbers, and he will pick up about 6 on first down.
Well, Mitchell just has that quickness and the burst to get to the outside. There wasn't a lot of room to operate. He just got around the edge, pick up some positive yards, but flag down the field looks like it's coming back.
Yeah,
holding.
Down, and it's holding.
72 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay it down.
And they will, off the spot foul, mark it back at the 15-yard line. So that's effectively an 11-yard penalty against the Knights. Mitchell, the featured back this year, almost 1,000 yards deep. Ball man open and just over the fingertips of King. He had 3 steps on the defender, and it was all green in front of him.
The ball just sailed. One-on-one matchup. Garrett Wingate, the offensive coordinator that's done such an outstanding job. First year coming in from Rose High School. They've been able to put up points this year, and he creates matchups where Jones can really put the secondary in a tough position. They just weren't able to convert.
And on second down, again, Jones looking to throw, tries to step up, spins around. Extended that football dangerously, but held on. Big defensive play by Diego Niera, his second big one of the game.
Watch him right in the middle of the lineup. 88 was double teamed, continues to fight, and it's tough to bring down Jones. He's athletic, is able just to go into the body.
And a Knight player is down, meanwhile, on the right side of the field. 6-0 lead for Northern Nash. And the training staff for the Knights comes out to take a closer look. Well, that gives us an opportunity to kind of catch our breaths here, Jay. And for Northern Nash, with one of their linemen down, and it looks to be Nick Bellamy, number 72. What's your takeaway of what we've seen through the first 5 possessions and 4.5 minutes of this opening quarter?
Well, for Northern Nash, they're going to test the secondary. I mean, they're going to go for deep passing plays, and There's Garrett Wingate over on the left side of the screen coming in from Rose. He's coached at East Carolina. Also was with the Tampa Bay Bucks as well, so he's been able to come in here, and early on there's instant chemistry with this offensive group, and he's got that respect between Jones and him, and Wingate have just clicked. And for Bellamy right now being down, he's an important piece up front for this group.
All right, so as they attend to Bellamy, a good sign for him as he's trying to roll and get up under his own power. Back to what we've seen so far from Northern Nash. I mean, not only are they attacking deep, they're going after really the best cover corner on this East Lincoln squad, and Keandre Walker, guy with great swag. I mean, he's out there enjoying himself and enjoying kind of the duel one-on-one. But he's been picked on here the first couple of minutes of this opening quarter. As Bellamy, a good sign, is to his feet. And not putting any pressure on that left leg.
One of the best offensive linemen for Northern Nash, 6'4", 315 pounds, and you see him as he hobbles off. Hopefully he'll be able to come back into the ball game. That's a key player up front. It's over on the sidelines.
All right, so back to action as they treat Bellamy on the Northern Nash sideline. This is now a 3rd down and 21 play. And had that big holding call a couple of moments ago. And Jones will get it off, room up the left side, and across the 25 to about the 26 goes Mitchell. But he's going to be about 10 yards shy of the first down, so we'll see Northern Nash punt it away for the first time.
Good job from East Lincoln just getting off the blocks, and they gave up some yardage there, but they stayed back. They didn't want to give up an explosive play, came up to make the play to give the ball back to their offense.
So there's Bryson Jenkins, a tremendous infielder on the baseball team for the Knights with a big leg. Markel Clark will play it on the hop, and it's returnable for the Mustangs, trying to sprint away to the sideline. There we go. Cover a lot of ground, got no return though on the punts as Javian Fenner was up to the task, number 3 for Northern Nash. About midway through the opening quarter, the 3A title game. Early 6-0 lead for Northern Nash. .6:39 left opening quarter. Football belongs to East Lincoln, trailing Northern Nash 6-0. A lightning strike touchdown by Northern Nash inside the first minute of this title game. But they've also overcome a turnover on their first offensive play and trying to get back on even terms. Pass to the sideline is caught and a run out of bounds. Just a safe play by East Lincoln in the hands of Markel Clark. And Clark will pick up about 7.
Good blocking on the outside from Terry Bryant. Right guard as well as Cutter playing over on the offensive end. And now this is what they want, being second and medium, second and short situations where you can use the legs of Mizell or the play action pass.
Handoff on a counter, a little slip on the handoff, and not much there. That's going to bring up 3rd down and short. We've yet to really talk about the super rising stardom of sophomore running back Christopher Daly. 1,671 yards this year. 20 touchdowns. He got his first Division I football offer as a sophomore only about a week ago by Appalachian State. What's interesting about that, I'll tell you after this play. 3rd and 3. And there is Daly. Penalty marker down, stood up, pushed out of bounds. There's the whistle. The play will halt. Now App State offered Daly knowing that it's not going to be the only offer. Head coach believes he'll have the choice of his life on what school to go to, but App State said, we just want him to remember that we were the first one to offer as we get the call on the penalty.
Personal foul, baseman, on the defense.
That's a big one against the Knights. Let's go downstairs to Sam.
First down.
Yeah, Patrick, going off that point there, I spoke to Chris Daly earlier this week and asked him, what was your reaction when you got the App State offer? And he said, I'm shocked, not going to lie to you, but then I immediately forgot about it and got to focusing on the state title game. He seemed pretty locked in our conversation. I asked him, what is the biggest area of growth this season in your game? He said, vision and speed, and it's only going to get better.
Right on the personal foul, 15 yards and a first down now for East Lincoln. On the stretch, and here is Daly. Sidesteps one, but where the speed is there laterally for Northern Nash defensively. Carson Jenkins on the tackle.
The focus for this defense was slowing down Daly. I mean, you've got to take away the run. The good job with the recognition, just sifting through and making the play. Jenkins, he just has those instincts that you look for in a linebacker. He's played such good ball throughout his career and culminating in a heck of a season here with his team in the state championship game.
Gain of only one for Daly. 3 receivers in the formation. Mazzell to the left sideline, breaking for the football, but can't pry it out of Dre Walker's hands, and that is going to be a little bit short to the first down outside the 35.
They're playing deep off of Walker, respecting his speed. Easy throw from Mazzell. Look at all that cushion that he had. Good security as he went to the ground, holding onto the ball.
So 3rd and short now for the Mustangs. In their 4th state title appearance. 3rd and 1. Mazzell will give it to Daly. Breaks free, cuts wide, stays on his feet, and there goes Daly up the sideline. Look at that jump stop on a dime, sifting right and waltzing into the end zone for a touchdown. App State's not going to be his only destination, will it?
All great backs have instincts, the ability to cut the vision. Continues to fight at the end. Nice job jumping back in. Northern Nash brought the blitz. The danger when you do that is if the running back gets to the second level, there's no one there in support. Daly got through that initial line of scrimmage with burst and then gets into the end zone. The nice response from the Mustangs.
That was 45 nifty yards by Daly. Extra point punctuates the drive and gives East Lincoln the lead with 4:24 left in the opening quarter. And now that distressing beginning of the game for East Lincoln, the first minute and a half, it's way back in the rearview mirror now.
Well, you give up an explosive play, your defense does, and then you have the turnover, but you only give up 7 points. And you maintain your composure. A good job by the coaching staff, keeping everybody calm, and then you go down, have a heck of a drive. And Daly's one of those guys. The more you give him the ball later on in the game, he gets stronger and better.
Well, there are a lot of people who can watch that 35-yard touchdown run on a loop endlessly. Put that on TikTok.
Special player.
People still use TikTok, don't they?
I've heard of it.
So is China, by the way. All right, here we go. 7-6 lead for East Lincoln. And ready for the NC 529 kickoff. NC 529, never too early or too late to start saving for your child's education. We're talking about East Lincoln just trying to settle things in after a very rocky start. They've done so. One missed tackle on the kickoff return, and then finally stopped around the 25-yard line. That's where Randall King has stood up. So the Knights back on offense, and with an injury update from earlier in this opening quarter affecting Northern Nash. Let's go down to Sam.
Yeah, guys, Nick Bellamy is still on the sidelines right now. He's got some blue tape on his left leg. I spoke to the sports medicine staff, and they did say his return is probable, but right now he's still not out there.
All right, there he is on the sideline, watching his offense on the field, trailing by 1. Running play around the left side for a couple of yards. Out beyond the 30-yard line. Well, that East Lincoln victory in the semifinals of the regional over Kings Mountain, that was really the first time that East Lincoln felt like it's been an underdog in the game. That was the one that they really feared in the bracket when they came out. They dominated Kings Mountain to a 46 to 20 win. And then edged their way past South Point last week to reach the championship. 3rd down and 4 now for Northern Nash.
3rd down, 4 to go.
Keno Jones looking left, turns it right. Another deep ball down the left side. Hangs up, brought in by Trey Battle. Tackle to the 23. An artful pass by Keno Jones on 3rd down.
He throws a great ball. Good job getting loft, the touch, and then hitting him in stride. Trey Battle didn't have to move. Just keep running. The ball falls into your lap. Another explosive play.
45-yard pickup on 3rd down. And now almost into the red zone to carry for a couple. Down to about the 20-yard line by Jones.
And that's what makes this offense so tough to defend. You know, East Lincoln do a pretty good job 1st and 2nd down, and then boom, they'll go over the top. They find one-on-one coverage, looking at mismatches in the secondary, and then they're going to attack it.
You know, the Knights have 4 receivers with 28 catches or more. The King, Battle, Davis, McKinney, and Rhodes are the quartet of targets. 2nd down and 6 from the 20. Sprinting straight ahead, cutting around. Room now around the corner for Loring. Inside the 10 goes Loring. That's a 1st and goal situation for the Knights.
They're going to mix Loring into the running game. A little deception in the backfield, and then 24 just has the ability to bounce it out. And look at him finish off the run, taking 2 guys a couple extra yardage down the field.
It's now to talk it out and see a red zone. 1st and goal. Jones swings it out a little bit underthrown. That's a tough pass to make. Wasn't able to step into it. It's coming a lot of grain right there on the pass. 2nd and goal.
He's looking towards Ashton Rhodes, the tight end. A big target on the outside, 6'5". One of the very few times we'll see this offense huddle. As Garrett Wingate talking with Jones. Those two have lit up the scoreboard this year.
Well, 2nd and goal. Play clock is at 14, and Jones is still on the sideline. He's going to have to sprint and get these guys to the line here. They may run out of time. He's getting the huddle with 7. Will they get this play off is the question. 1 second to play clock, and they do not. And I believe Northern Nash took a timeout prior to the penalty.
Timeout.
Ahead of a 2nd and goal. Just too much time on the sideline.
First charge timeout of the half.
A 7-6 deficit for the Knights. Big early spot for Northern Nash.
Oh, good timeout there, recognizing the team was rushing. Bring everybody over to the sideline. Make sure everyone's on the same page. This is an important play inside of the 10-yard line. You want to make sure everybody knows their assignment in order to get across the goal line.
A lot of credit and poise shown by East Lincoln after the opening couple of minutes. I mean, this game could have gone haywire in a hurry. Remember, not only were they down 6-0, they gave the football back, and Northern Nash was driving again. Could have gone up 2 scores. And the defense made a stop. Offense converted. And just like that, David Lubowitz's Mustangs lead by a point.
The challenge for the defense is you want to get pressure on Jones, but you have to keep him in the pocket as well. You cannot allow him to get outside and use his legs.
So out of the timeout, 2nd and goal for the Knights. And a bunch formation for the first time as they shift now. And Jones follows blockers around the right. Can he get the edge? Held on, held up, and then thrown out of bounds. Excellent pursuit defensively by the Mustangs.
The Knights put out there Jenkins as well as Connor Baker overloaded, but a better job by the Mustangs front to just string things out, stretch it out, and now force a 3rd down.
Now, interestingly, on the play call just delivered to Keno Jones, he didn't go over to the sideline. He kind of went 2 steps and then saw it, gestured in. Conserve some time on the play clock. 3rd and goal. Jones again calls his number. A block beaten by the Mustangs again. And that's Cutter breaking through. 4th and goal.
Cutter's instincts. Watch number 9 right in the middle of the screen. Just kind of slowly flow over and then finishes it off. The nice job from Blake Bradford as well, the other senior, 6'6", 240 pounds, along with Cutter. Those two, such a good tandem right up the middle on this defense.
All right, not all high school teams have a kicker who is a weapon, but Northern Nash does. And Bryson Jenkins, who is perfect 9 of 9 on field goals, is on to try and give the Knights the lead. This will be from 22. And the kick is good, and the Knights back in front. 10 for 10 in field goals this year. With a little more than a minute to go in the opening quarter, Northern Nash back on top.
Andrew Ferris pleased with his offense so far. Of course, you want the touchdown, but you get more points across. You execute on special teams with the field goal. You have to be pleased with the balance that you've shown running the ball as well as through the air. Jones has impressed me with his arm strength, his ability to take shots down the field.
This opening quarter has me exhausted. This has been a packed 12 minutes of excitement and entertainment, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, so many times in these games you talk about teams feeling their way through the nerves. There's been none of that in this. They come out firing, and they're opening up the playbook. Each team playing aggressive. They know what's on the line.
9-7, Knights with the lead. NC 529 kickoff. NC 529, never too early or too late to start saving for your child's education.
Number 14, Bryson Jenkins.
So Jenkins will kick it off. And we'll see if they, again, go a pooch directional kick as they did the last time. And that appears to be the case. This is a free ball if the Knights can get there. Caught on the fly and then absolutely leveled. And there's going to be a personal foul penalty on Alan Barnes of Northern Nash. We're going to talk about a defenseless player receiving that kick. This might be beyond a personal foul. There could be an ejection here to me. We'll see.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 9 on the kicking team, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Should there have been more, Jay?
Well, and that's what I think the conversation was about. And you've got to hold up there and see that the fair catch is being called. I know you want to be aggressive.
I think he needs to be out of the game.
Went right towards the helmet.
I think he's out of the game. I think there should be more on that play. I mean, he called a fair catch not at the last moment. It was clearly a fair catch being
towards the helmet, too.
And he was up. With no ejection. Barnes plays on. Penalty moves it into Knights territory at the 49. First down. Cutter in motion, and a handoff Daly. Daly, 5 hard yards. That play is going to be remembered by East Lincoln. But I will say this to the credit of East Lincoln, and really both teams, there wasn't much after that. I mean, no team, no players went after anybody else or jawed with anybody else. Simply filed away. Second down. Mizell, pressure coming from the backside. Pass was thrown a bit behind Cutter. Good concentration focus. So reach back, bring it in, and get a first down here for the Mustangs.
And this is so tough when you're running full speed to be able to bring it back in on that shoulder and then turn to go upfield. Also, nice tackle, bringing him down. That's Carson Jenkins. Again, we've called his name a few times all over the field.
So now inside the 40-yard line. Clock running, 20 seconds left opening quarter. Mizell to Daly. Slowing right at the point of attack. Again, the defensive line has been mostly impenetrable for Northern Nash. They've done a really nice job slowing down the big running game of Christopher Daly.
Alan Barnes coming off the edge, the outside linebacker, the senior. He's been good. He's had a great year as well as inside Chris Manning. Those two plugging the gaps.
Well, this is going to be a fun one to watch over the next 3 quarters. First quarter in the books of the 3A title game. Northern Nash up on East Lincoln, 9-7. Now there's a lot to digest in that opening quarter. Ready for the second from Carter Finley, the 3A state championship game. Northern Nash 9, East Lincoln 7. Drive continues for East Lincoln in Northern Nash territory. This is a 2nd down and long 9 from the 40. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, happy to be with you from NC State. Mizell across the middle, has a man. Good hands, brings it in, undercut, but not before a 1st down. Jackson Beam on the reception for East Lincoln. That's the 2nd Mustang receiver we've seen reach back and bring in a pass. They're thrown a little bit behind. Excellent hands.
Well, zone coverage and Beam just running a slant route. Looked and turned. Good job focusing in and another play over the middle where Mizell's had success.
That's good for 12 and a 1st down. Mizell passes out in the backfield. This is Markel Clark. Good tackle in the open field near the sideline by Connor Baker. And let's go downstairs to Sam, who has more on Mike Bias, the longtime retired coach from East Lincoln.
Yeah, guys, Coach Lebowitz, the head coach of East Lincoln, told me that Mike is his biggest mentor. He said, as a young coach, Mike said, I was a yeller, and he taught me how to tone that down. There are different rules for different kids when it comes to conversations. I also asked Mike Bias, who's better, the 2014 state championship team or this team? And he said this East Lincoln team has more talent across the board, with the exception at the wide receiver position. So he really likes this team, guys.
Good to see him up from Rock Hill. I misspoke a little bit, not retired, but did lead the program, and now is working with a high school down in Rock Hill, South Carolina. There he is on the sideline in the familiar East Lincoln orange and green colors. First down to the 14-yard line. Mustangs trying to reclaim the lead. Mizell fake to Daly, looks across the middle. Nothing there. Throws to a man open in the side of the end zone. Brought in. Touchdown. Markel Clark. And Mizell the first to greet him. Long pass. Clark broke away. Got lost behind the defense. And the Mustangs back in front.
Well, play action pass, and Mizell, knowing the pressure is coming from the backside, knew he was going to get hit. He was still able to set his feet and throw an accurate ball. And Clark just continued to work downfield, going towards that end pylon on the corner. Good job by those two connecting.
Extra point knocked through, and it's 14-9 East Lincoln. How about this celebration? Markel Clark's 17th touchdown reception of the 36th this year from Mizell. 14-9 East Lincoln.
Back to Carter Finley Stadium, joined by sales manager of West Shore Home, Jake Wirtz. And Jake, what is the importance of the relationship between West Shore Home and Friday Night Rivals?
I'll tell you, it's quite awesome to be here, first of all, and see the growth that happened throughout the year with these football players, coaches, cheerleaders, the families. It's electric in here, and we're just excited to be part of it.
And how about with the community? Why is it so important to have West Shore Home be a part of the community? Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's a great question. Our main goal is to bring happiness to every home, but you can't do that if you're not within your community. Bringing happiness to all the folks that are out here today, and just do our part to give back.
Thanks so much for your time, and enjoy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Patrick, back to you.
A huge 3rd down reception. .26 left first half. 14-9. The lead seesaws back to the Mustangs. And Northern Nash begins this drive at the 27-yard line. Ashton Rhodes resets on the left side. Hand off through the middle, only for a couple of yards on 1st down. There is some hitting going on the field, Jay.
When you watch the line of scrimmage, you're going to see these guys getting after it. The contact down there, the push up front on both sides, especially these defenses. I mean, they're flying through. There is no hesitation. There's aggression as they're making plays.
4 receivers in the formation. Pass across the middle and a little slant. Well-thrown ball by Keno Jones hooking up for the first time today with Yassine Davis-McKinney. And that will be enough for a first down.
And this is what Northern Nash is going to have to do. Spread the field out, loosen up the interior of the defense, and get the ball out on the perimeter, get it in those open areas of the zone defense.
And on first down, quickly they swing it to the outside and tripped up after a nominal game. Trey Battle.
The Knights,
about 5.
Yeah, Patrick, the Knights are using this tempo, not huddling. They're not rushing the line of scrimmage, but it limits substitutions for East Lincoln.
Now, Keno Jones, senior quarterback, he was a defensive player as a sophomore. He was waiting for the quarterback roster to clear up. He became the starting quarterback last year, and now has Northern Nash in the state championship game. Long run across the field for Iwan Mitchell, and that will move the chains. We have an injured Mustang player as well across the field. That's Parker Davis, one of their outside linebackers. Helmet buried in the grass, and his head coach, David Lubowitz, goes over to have a look. It's right in front of the Northern Nash sideline. And what do we say about hits in this game? There have been some massive ones. So 9:32 left first half. We'll take a timeout from NC State as they tend to the injured player. 14-9 East Lincoln.
Number 22, Parker Davis, for the left side, coming off the field.
There's a look at Parker Davis, injured on that last play. Good sign, though. Welcome sight, up and walking off of the field. But we can see by that image right there, he still is feeling the effects on the sideline. And on first down, a hard yardage up ahead. Trey Battle for Northern Nash. And he'll pick up close to 10. We'll see if they give a first down or not. Second and shorts. Maybe. Referee halts play. Now they will move the chains. A little confusion on the sideline, whether it's a second and short or a first down. And they now make the determination it is a Northern Nash first down. So from the 37-yard line, Hardy's first down action. Another slant in and out of the hands of Davis-McKinney, kind of hacked out of there nicely by Landon Gleason.
Gleason's receiving Ivy League interest. Outstanding safety. Goes in there, just knocks the ball loose. He's one of the key leaders of this defense. 6'3", really good range on the back end.
We had a lot of conversations with Ivy League schools. Dartmouth seems to be his preference, but also Davidson Presbyterian showing strong interest in him. Second and 10. Jones will give it off, and stiff resistance on the right side of that defensive line. Ben Cutter and a Hampton Good lead the way. Third down.
Those two linebackers, not only are they physical, they've got those instincts that you want. They'll attack the line of scrimmage. There's nowhere to run, and now it sets up a third and long situation.
Third and 10. Jones with a marker down. Play call off. And this will go against Northern Nash.
Good ball. Ball start.
Well, I love the quote that David Lewis gave us about Cutter. Talking about his kind of traditional role as a middle linebacker. and I'll parse words. He said, Ben is a guy who always plays like he's angry. Use a different term, but that's the style when he's on the field.
That's what you want.
He's agitated.
That's what you want your linebacker to
A little
be.
irritated, ready to make a big play. 3rd down and 15. Into Trevick, tipped, and it's intercepted by East Lincoln. Diego Niera tipped it to himself and picks off Northern Nash.
Heck of a play. You ask your defensive line to rush the quarterback, not to have this feel. Niera just sees Jones backing up, feels a possible screen, and then jumps up at the perfect time, tips it to himself. Good job just hauling it in, and then now you set up your offense with outstanding field position on the 44.
We have called Niera's name several times already with some big tackles for losses, and now a rare interception for a defensive lineman. 1st down, East Lincoln running through the middle. Good yardage on 1st down. Call it 9 there for Christopher Daly as he tries to inject himself offensively here for the Mustangs.
You can see after he finishes off that run, the emotion that he plays with. He averaged 220 yards last year on the JV team. Coming into the varsity later on in the year, he made his impact in the playoffs, and now he's taken off this year.
Illegal substitution.
That's really good recognition there by Tyler Mazzell. We talk about tempo Northern Nash is playing with. East Lincoln turned the tables, and Northern Nash had 12 on the field, and the 12th couldn't get off the field before the snap.
Smart decision from Mazzell to rush up to the line of scrimmage. It's those little things that make him so special from the quarterback position. He knows the pace, the tempo with this offensive group. He's made such good decisions here tonight. He's been accurate with the football. He's 6 for 7 so far on the night.
1st down after the penalty from the 31 for East Lincoln. Trying to build now at a 14-9 lead. Daly in the backfield to his left. And Mazzell decides to give it off to Daly. Sprints outside and cut down beyond the 30-yard line. Excellent pursuit there by Barry and Strickland of Northern Nash, number 21.
This was phenomenal. Strickland, only a sophomore. Not only did he have to get off the block, but then he had to bring down Daly. Watch him here just continue to fight and then goes towards the ankles of Daly. No gain. And he's an important piece in the secondary group with his coverage ability, but also coming up and stopping the run.
6.5 to go in the 1st half. Three receiver set, pistol formation for the Mustangs. And the play clock expired.
Dead ball, delay of game on the offense.
Coaches will generally bail out delay of games if they see it winding down, knowing that the snap won't get off, but the Mustangs missed it on the sideline and a 5-yard walk-off. Still 2nd down. Same formation. Mazzell darts over the middle. Somehow it gets through. Caught and tripped up inside the 20-yard line. Cutter on the reception. That was threaded through a needle, and about 20 different fingertips missed it.
And you had to throw a perfect ball here to get it through the coverage. Exactly what Mazzell did. Good job hitting Cutter in stride, right on his numbers to get the 1st down.
Hardy's 1st down. Breakfast just got better. Hardy's new Super Biscuits now available until noon on weekends. Inside the 20-yard line, 1st down Mustangs. Mazzell to the corner, the end zone. Brought in beautifully by Dre Walker. Gets the foot down. Touchdown, East Lincoln.
Mazzell has such a read on the defense right now. Looking at the coverage, he knows where he wants to go with the ball. Pre-snap, little play-action pass, immediately turns his eyes over towards Walker. Accurate throw, clean pocket. This offense is clicking. Look at that placement of the ball. Right there where only Walker can catch it. This offense executing at a high level, mixing in the run and the pass.
Tell you what, Mazzell locked in. For Maletta for the extra point, and shoots that one through. We've seen a couple of touchdowns by East Lincoln in the last 5 minutes. And so much for that rocky beginning for the Mustangs, because they are now all in and on all cylinders charging ahead. They lead by 12.
Credit to the offensive line with giving Mizell time to throw. 8 for 9 now on the day. He's mixing in different wide receivers. Clark, Walker, and Cutter, along with Beam, have all caught passes. They've had balance. Matt Beam, the offensive coordinator, dialing it up. A lot of confidence over on that sideline.
44 yards encompassing just 2:06 on the clock, 4 plays. And the East Lincoln mascot, even hotter inside that costume now with what his offense has done in this second quarter. Now for the NC 529 kickoff. NC 529, never too early or too late to start saving for your child's education. You know, broadcasters sometimes broadcast games field level, bleachers at Wrigley Field. I'd love to do a game in a mascot costume.
Oh, that'd be great. Now that mascot, he's in the huddle half the time. I mean, he's part of the team.
And now the deep kick. Returnable. Goes Battle out close to the 30-yard line. 5:40 left in this opening half, and a couple of timeouts for Northern Nash. A reminder coming up at halftime, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services halftime report. We will have a special sit-down with Q Tucker, the commissioner for the NCHSAA. First half highlights and more. ispot.nc.gov, your spot for COVID-19 protection. Well, all of a sudden, it becomes a pretty big drive here for Northern Nash. They led by a touchdown less than a minute into this championship. They now trail by 12, and there's a good start. Ashton Rhodes on the receiving end of a pass from Keno Jones, and that will be good for about 8 on first down.
They've 194 total yards of offense so far. You're down by 12 points, so Northern Nash has done a lot of good things. They've just got to execute, make sure they respond on this drive.
It's Mitchell just enough for the first down, despite the large hit by defensive end Marcel Johnson. Jones, little pressure coming, dangerous pass over the middle. Behind the intended receiver, incomplete. And the hits on Randall King, a little slow to get up. Nicked up a bit, and now he does fall down. Try to take a step after a hit that caught him in the back of the legs, and he is hurt. His helmet is off right around midfield. He goes, that hit accidental, though, behind the play. Again, he's reaching back for the pass, Jay. What'd you see?
That's a tough play because he comes down. He's not expecting any contact, and he gets clipped right on the hip.
I mean, he thought he was okay after they hit, got up, took a step or two toward midfield, then just crumbled down.
Those are the worst when you can't brace yourself for contact.
Randall King, I mean, he is the top target for this Northern Nash offense. 46 receptions, over 1,000 yards. Big-time basketball player in the Knights program as well. Their head coach is checking in every week on text messages. Hey, good luck. I want you to win, but I need my guys here pretty soon, and he's one of the guys.
Yeah, and he's a great kid. I mean, Andrew Ferris talked with us about him, just what he brings to not only the football team, but the athletic program as a whole. And, you know, for him, he's already had that one big catch. You know how bad he wants this game. And hopefully he'll be all right. Yeah. Good sign coming up.
So he's just a joyful kid, and he can leap out of the gym. So, I mean, if you go at his, and I'm not saying they want to add his leg, but if there's a leg injury, that's a big part of his athletic talent. And he was trying to get off the field on his own, and well, that's not the sign you wanted to see for Northern Nash and Randall King. And he's just kind of dragging that left leg.
And that's tough when you're in the huddle. See your teammate, one of your best players, go down like that on a hit like that where it's kind of late. He couldn't brace himself, and I know the guys in the huddle want to pick up their play to help support their teammate. Hopefully he'll be back in the ball game, but if you're a Knight right now, you're motivated after seeing that play to go out here, try to get this drive into the end zone.
If there's one thing this Knight offense has, it has depth on the edges. They swing it out. This is battle. Bottled up, and that's going to go for a loss. Read well by Jarvis Stevens for East Lincoln. And it's 3rd down and long.
The blitz comes. He gets it to the outside. Nowhere to go. Good team defense. 3 hats coming over to make the play. It's a solid job knowing your assignment. Stevens cleaning it up.
That's one of the things that David Lubowitz told us earlier in the week about this Mustang defense. He said it's a race to make a tackle wherever the ball is going. And we saw a race to make that tackle by 3 different guys, and Northern Nash is going to be backed up again on an illegal procedure call.
Dead ball. False start. 75 and offense. 3rd down.
Well, Ryan Gaggio, the defensive coordinator, has made some adjustments. They're playing their safeties back deeper after giving up some explosive plays. See the penalty up front. The safeties are playing back, making sure they keep everything in front of them.
Need to reach midfield. This is 3rd down. Jones to the sideline, a little underthrown. It is incomplete, and it's 4th down. Looking for Jaquil Arrington. He's on the field to replace Randall King, and it's 4th down for the Knights. And they will have to bring the punting unit on the field. 3:59 left, 2nd quarter. Boy, has this been a 180-degree change from the opening minute of this championship. Right now, Northern Nash on their heels. Walker back to return the kick. This one, heavy spin. And Walker's going to let this one roll to a stop at the 30-yard line. 37-yard kick. And the drive begins with 3:49 left in the first half, with East Lincoln leading by 12. A reminder, West Shore Home Player of the Game coming up at the conclusion of tonight's ball game. West Shore Home, America's most admired home remodeling brand. Well, East Lincoln gets the football on the other side of intermission. Mustangs lead 21-9. They have possession here. And this is a big potential juncture of this game if they can score here and then do some damage early in the 3rd quarter. Flea flicker is on. Mizell dodges. Now throws to the underneath man. And a lot of room now over the 40 to the 45. Out to about the 47-yard line. 17-yard pickup for East Lincoln. That's Christopher Daly.
And they open up the playbook here. Take a shot. Trick play. Look at the ball handling here. So tough as a defender to see what's happening in front of you. They're looking to go deep, but a nice job by Mizell recognizing the safeties back and then taking Daly just as an outlet to pick up positive yardage.
Mizell continues the hot hand. 9 and 10. Has another man streaking down the sideline, and it is picked off by Northern Nash. Elijah Pitt. And there's the signal. It is inbounds, and it is not juggled, although 2 officials are discussing things. But the Knights feel they have the pick. And they've overruled it. It's been overturned. It's an incomplete pass.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The player did not maintain control of the ball through the end of the play.
Well, I'll say this. The initial ruling was an interception because one of the officials pointed the other way. Did he have control? Ball pops out of there then. Jay, what do you think?
Let's see. No.
How long the ball control is in?
That's a judgment call. I would say that's an interception.
I mean, there's no doubt Markel Clark had his hand on the football, but it didn't move the football out of Pitt's arm until he landed and then kind of rolled a little bit. How much longer does he need it?
To me, that's an interception. I mean, down on the field, that's going full speed. We could see it slowed down, but he had the initial control of the ball, and then it comes loose.
We'll see if we can take one more look at this and let you be the judge. And the teams are headed to the sideline. Jay, we'll take one more look here.
Let's see. All right, he's got the ball.
Still under control there. I mean, does he need to complete the role in the officials' minds? To me, I think that's a pick.
That's an interception. So the toughest part is it's down on Andrew Ferris' sideline. So that's right in front of him, and not to get that call, that's disappointing, but for Pitt, heck of a play.
Second charge, timeout and a half.
And he's
First
thinking
time,
second
timeout and a
timeout.
half.
And they may have caught a break. This is where I wish we had a rules official expert that we could just zoom in and say, what did you see? What's the right call? Because right now at Carter Finley, it's a 50-50 split as far as fans go. I think it's a pick. I don't want to influence you. What do you think?
I think it's a pick.
And the officials are still talking things over. Now, this is not to overturn the overturning of the call.
Well, I just think especially too, and for me it's just judgment, but especially after it's initially called an interception, they went back and switched it.
Because, the official closest to the play saw it, saw the control, signaled the other way, and then a second official came down the sideline, same side, had a conversation. About 10 seconds later, he must have had a better look from a further distance away. Well, the Northern Nash fans, they have not stopped booing.
Well, for the Knights right now, you have arguably your best player, Randall King, go out of the ball game with a shot that they kind of thought was late, and then now an interception that's overturned. As a player, you've got to use this as motivation to fire you up.
One more quick discussion with the officials, including our referee. The play will stand, and it will be second down and about 14, and now one more conversation. Now they're going over the sideline for Northern Nash. I think right now this is where they don't have the chains. And I think the reason the chains are out of whack is after the signal the other way for the interception, did the chains leave their spots and go down the sideline?
Yeah, they left their spots. And they never regrouped either. They still stayed down there even after the teams were going back.
So now the officiating crew is just trying to get everything straightened out. Ball placement, clock, down, and distance. And now they picked up the football. They're moving the football ahead to the 46-yard line. The ball was at about, the 41. One of the assistants on there, that's the head coach of Northern Nash, out on the field, and he's unhappy with everything right now. Calls, placement, all these long discussions seem to be yielding nothing from Northern Nash's perspective, and maybe we'll get an explanation. And we won't. 3:24 left, first half. Now we are ready to resume final. This is a 2nd and 10. Is out to the outside, connects with Bean, sidesteps one, stiff arms another, and is pushed out of bounds with emphasis inside the 4. And now they will move the chains. Hardy's first down, brought to you by Hardy's. Breakfast just got better. Hardy's new Super Biscuits now available until noon on weekends. A lot of adverse conditions now for the Knights to overcome. 21-9, East Lincoln. And a timeout taken by the Knights.
Timeout. Northern
I
Nash.
really like
Second
this
charge
timeout.
timeout of the half.
Because there's right now you're kind of on the verge. A couple of things went against you. You thought you had a pick. The game started well. Hasn't gone very well the last half hour or so. This is a big defensive stand, and you can't let your guys get pushed around, give up a sulking touchdown late in the second quarter, because that might end their chances.
Huge. I mean, outstanding use of your timeout here to bring everybody over to the sideline, make sure you're on the same page, and set up the last 3 minutes of the half. With your defense, though, you've got to find a way to get pressure on Mizell. He's 10 for 12 right now. He's accurate. He's in the zone. You've got to get him off his mark, make him uncomfortable. They brought the blitz on the last play, but they've got to get him moving to try to get him out of this game.
A reminder coming up, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services halftime report. Q Tucker, commissioner of the NCHSAA, will join us. We'll have highlights from a very highlight-filled opening half and a whole lot more. myspot.nc.gov, your spot for COVID-19 protection. So out of that timeout, which allowed the Knights, including their coaching staff, just to hit the reset button. Back on the field on first down. Penalty marker thrown in from the referee. Hard run by Daly, still on his feet, but this one's coming back. It will negate a gain of 12.
Holding. 54 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot on the 5.
A little extra cheering by the Knights fans.
Yeah. They're happy with this flag. You see the hold right up the middle. Good call. And I'll tell you what, Chris Manning has been a presence on the inside, using his sizes and his quickness. He's 300 pounds, but he can get off blocks, and he'll run you down. But right now, he's commanding double teams, and he's been able to get into the backfield.
Well, there's a look at Mizell. 10 of 12 for 119 in this opening half. Cutter to his right. 3 down linemen for the Knights. They rush 3 and defend in the zone of the sideline, and well covered there by Northern Nash. It's Caleb Staten, number 18. He stayed home on Jackson Bean, third down.
Tyler Waltson, the first-year defensive coordinator for the Knights. Offense and defense. These coordinators have come in with Waltson and Wingate, done a nice job. And now we'll see on third down, do you mix in the blitz or second down here, but do you start to put pressure on Mizell, or do you play back?
The Knights will come at him with 4, room up the middle, scampers a bit, and then the hole closes down. Now it's a 3rd and long situation for the Mustangs as the clock submarines below 140.
Here's the pressure. You rush 4, but you collapse the pocket, and then Jenkins comes over, and multiple other guys, Torrance Porter Jr. as well, makes the play. You still have that one timeout. If you can get a stop here, you may have an opportunity to get the ball back here with some time left.
That's what I was just thinking. As far as clock management goes, this is a decision that Andrew Ferris has made not to use a timeout to give his offense potentially time to score. He's rather right now focusing on defense. Third down and 15. Middle screen. Catch made to the 40 with blocking. To the 30-yard line. Out of bounds and very close. He may be a little bit short. Markel Clark needed to get to the 29-yard line. I think he's just going to be a tad short of that.
This is a good play call. The screen, highly efficient, and then let Clark do the rest.
And he is short. And that's just not the recognition you need. You know where the sticks are. Again, it's third down at about 16, but he had a little bit more forward room to get that first down. Dodged out, so it's 4th down. East Lincoln will go. They will pick it up. And as the clock goes beneath the minute, the drive continues for the Mustangs. Looking for it won't be a put-away score. It's far too early to talk about that, but it will be a consequential late first-half score for East Lincoln if they get it.
They lined up in the I formation, power football. Marcel Johnson, 24, leading the way, and then Cutter just runs through 2 guys to get enough.
And East Lincoln will take a timeout. 41 seconds left.
Timeout. East Lincoln.
Leaves the Mustangs
Second charge
with 1.
timeout of the half.
21 21-9 lead for David Luvitz and the East Lincoln Mustangs. They're in their 4th ever state title appearance. The previous 3 all came within a 6-year span. 2008 got beat by Reedsville. Then they won 2 out of 3 between 2012 and 2014. And again, Mike Bias, who is the head coach of those teams, is now on the sideline as a guest because he's a high school coach down in South Carolina for Rock Hill. And they beat Tarboro in 2012. They beat Washington in 2014. Back for the first time in 8 years. There's a look at Bias in the background. It's quality camera work right there, isn't it?
Great.
Gives it
Great shot.
The depth over a player's shoulder. Watchful eyes of Coach Bias. 41 seconds left, first down. Low snap, handle, pass to the outside, Walker. And there's not a lot of room to maneuver there. Out of bounds, stops the clock with 37 seconds.
The Mustangs can still attack the middle of the field with that timeout in your pocket. Good job going towards the sideline, getting out of bounds. But you have the ability to really go towards the middle of the field, try to split through the cover 2 defense.
And you have the ability to get Christopher Daly involved if you choose. Mizell, some room, scrambling ahead, cuts to his right, throws on the run, diving grab. Is it caught? It's Riley Shropshire. They call it incomplete. Of course, that's not going to make the Northern Nash fans happy at all about that one being called incomplete when they thought they had an interception a couple minutes ago. Did it look like he had his hands underneath that football the entire time? It looked like that to me.
Looked like a catch.
I'll tell you what, for the Knights fans and the Knights sideline, that's not the one they needed, right? Third down. 25 seconds left. And field goal kicking has not been a part of the DNA for East Lincoln this year. Third down, sideline pass, Walker, stood up, gets away toward the 15-yard line, and that will stop the clock. He does pick up the first down. Slippery yards after the catch by Walker. And they may spike the football here as the clock now restarts after the ball's been spotted. And whistle blown, timeout, Northern Nash.
Timeout, Northern Nash.
So maybe they didn't have the right defensive alignment there. 11 seconds left, and if you're East Lincoln here, don't they still have the 1 timeout left?
Still have the 1 timeout.
So for East Lincoln, you probably have at least 2 plays, if not 3, but probably 2. So, Jay, what are you drawing up here? It has to be almost to the end zone and or sideline, yes?
Well, I think you've got to go towards the end zone and give yourself a shot. I mean, right now with 11 seconds left, you've got a field goal if you can execute, but you want to go for a touchdown. You want to stretch out this lead. With the way Mizell's throwing the ball and with his decision-making, I'd make sure I get into the end zone for at least 1 try to get 6 on the board.
Great crowds by the busloads. East Lincoln and Northern Nash. 21-9, East Lincoln leading. Northern Nash at a 6-0 lead, 59 seconds into this state title game. Mizell retreating, tough pass through traffic, but brought down outside of 15. And East Lincoln will have to use its last timeout here. That's a loss of a couple of yards.
Timeout.
It's an interesting play call right there through traffic. Maybe they felt like they had the right defense on the field and tried.
Well, they've had success with the screen game, but again, just with that time left on the clock, if you don't go towards the end zone, you don't execute and pick up, then you've got to use your timeout. Now, at the very least, you can put 3 points on the board.
So Christopher Milletta, number 42, is on the field. 6 seconds left. Even if Milletta knocks it through, it still is a 2-possession game. So this is worst case what Northern Nash need. They love no points. But if they surrender 3, so be it. They'd be down by 15. touchdown really would have made things daunting. So Willetta, this will officially be from 35. For the first half of the 3A title game, Christopher Milletta bangs in a 35-yard field goal, and East Lincoln at the break leads by 15.
And look at everybody come over. A nice little dance by Milletta to finish it off, but all the momentum now on the Mustang side as they go into the halftime break. A good job. I know you want the touchdown, but you're able to bring it in, use all the time. Not allow the Knights to get the ball back, and then you get points on the board and run into the locker room.
And that is 17 unanswered in the second quarter for a 24-9 lead. East Lincoln on top. Let's go downstairs to Sam, who's with David Lewis.
Coach, a very impressive first half. After you guys got down 6-0, what really changed over the course of the next several minutes?
Yeah, I think Northern Nash is what happened. They came out and they punched us in the mouth, and I don't think our kids were ready for it, and that's on the coaches, but our kids responded very well, and I'm very proud of them for that.
What is your message to the team in the locker room for the second half?
We got to keep it up, keep finishing. We got to finish this game just like we got going in the second quarter and the end of the first quarter. We just got to finish.
What did Chris Daly show you in the first?
Oh, he's a stud, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Sam. Thank you, Coach. Halftime score, 24-9. East Lincoln on top of Northern Nash. We will come back with the halftime show brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. That is next. 24-9. East Lincoln leads Northern Nash at the break.
Welcome to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Halftime Report. myspot.nc.gov, your spot for COVID-19 protection.
17 straight points in that second quarter by East Lincoln has catapulted the Mustangs to a halftime lead of this 3A title game. 24-9, Mustangs lead the Northern Nash Knights. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sonhalter back here for the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services halftime report. Let's move now to an interview with one of our great sponsors from Ingalls.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Nelson Weston. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the high school state championship football games right here on Friday Night Rivals. Who better to join us than our good friend all the way from Ingalls Markets? Y'all know her, the famous Melissa Level. Melissa, how's it going, my friend?
So good to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Happy football, happy championship weekend.
Happy football, happy championship weekend indeed. Melissa, it does raise the question, though. You guys have had a long-standing and proud sponsorship and support of the community for a long, long time now.
Right.
Why is this important to y'all?
Well, Ingalls is a corporation, but all of our stores are in the hearts of our communities.
Indeed.
So we are the beacon of those communities. So we support everyone in our stores, our customers, our schools, our first responders, our businesses. We are part of a community, not part of a big corporation. So this is just a very natural way for us to go in. And believe it or not, a lot of the people that play in these games work in our stores.
Oh yeah, that's super indeed.
Right?
Now, from what I gather, y'all have a terrific Tools for Schools program. For those who are unfamiliar, what exactly is that program? But more importantly, how can the good folks at home get involved and support it?
Well, it's very simple to get involved with it. You have an Ingalls Advantage card. You go online and register that card to the school of your choice. Every time you shop at Ingalls, not only are you earning fuel points, but you're also earning points for your school that goes directly into the teacher's hands. And this works into the classrooms. It's not just athletics, it's mathematics and science and social studies. It provides supplies for the teachers, it supplies food and security elements, supplies continuing education opportunities. It is a true educational program.
That is outstanding. Melissa, all this talk about football and state championships, I don't know about you, but I'm getting so hungry right about now. If I want to make a pit stop to, say, Ingalls, for example, on my way to one of the games, what are some of the most popular, delicious, and of course, mouth-watering items on the menu I can pick up?
I'm going to tell you, let's go to the wing bar. Okay, that's the absolute, okay, that's where we're going to start right there. Then we're going to stop and get a boar's head sub, and then on our way out in the car, we're going to grab a big bucket of fried chicken. Now we are good?
That is magnificent work.
Thank
Melissa,
you.
on behalf of WLOS and of course on behalf of the entire community, thank you so much for y'all's proud and resounding sponsorship.
We love our partnership with you too.
We cannot do this without y'all. Again, Tom Brady might might be the GOAT of football, but I tell you something right now, Ingles is undeniably the GOAT when it comes to proud community sponsorships. I'm ready for some more football.
I'm ready too.
We know y'all are ready for some more football, so without further ado, let's get ready for football!
Welcome to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Halftime Report. myspot.nc.gov, your spot for COVID-19 protection.
Here with North Carolina High School Athletic Association Commissioner Q Tucker. Commissioner Tucker, we appreciate your time. We're looking forward to great games this weekend.
Absolutely. And thank you guys so much for this opportunity to be able to just talk about our championships.
How exciting is it for you to get to this point of the football season?
You know, the last couple of years, once COVID hit, everything was up in the air. We didn't know whether or not we would be able to have a complete season in some instances. And so just to get to this point is pretty exciting.
Well, and there's many familiar teams in this year's state championship games. What do you think makes these teams so successful year in and year out?
One, it's the dedication of your head coach. It really starts at the top. That coach's philosophy, how they choose to conduct their off season, how they choose to approach the season once it begins. And I think another factor has to do with the community buy-in to those programs.
What's been the biggest challenge for the association in the last year?
Well, obviously the officiating challenge has been very, very real. When our football regional supervisors met early on in the season and talked about the numbers. Some were very, very concerned that they would not have the numbers to be able to put a crew on the field. And I want to give our officials a lot of credit. I'm not aware of any games that were never played or had to be changed because they, one, didn't have any officials, or two, officials did not show up. And so that's a credit to those officials who did commit to working in our program. And our regional supervisors also are to be commended for their creativity and trying to work with athletic directors and head coaches to get those games scheduled.
What are you most proud of as an association accomplishing this year?
I am just delighted with the principals and athletic directors for their work in those leadership roles. And then I'm just delighted with the work that our coaches have done. They've overcome a lot in this fall season. I just think hats off to the people who work in our schools. They're doing a lot to help young people be prepared to be the citizens that we want them to be once they pass through those halls and get that high school diploma, that they are positioned to do great things.
We appreciate your time, Commissioner Tucker, and thank you for your leadership this season.
Thank you so very much, and we appreciate what you guys do to spread the word and the message of education-based athletics.
The new COVID-19 boosters are safe and even more effective. We know that the COVID-19 virus continues to change over time as it continues to spread in our country and around the world. The new boosters give us all better protection against the COVID strains of the virus that we now see in our communities. You have a spot. Take your shot.
Stay protected against COVID-19. Find the updated booster at myspot.nc.gov.
Welcome to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Halftime Report. myspot.nc.gov, your spot for COVID-19 protection.
3A title game at halftime. East Lincoln leads Northern Nash 24-9. We continue our halftime show with a visit with Dr. Charlene Wong, the Assistant Secretary for Children and Families of the NCHSAA.
Now it's time for the My Spot Medical Timeout, your spot for COVID-19 protection. With us today is Dr. Charlene Wong, Assistant Secretary for Children and Families at NCHSAA.
The new COVID-19 boosters are safe and even more effective against the types of COVID-19 that we now see in our communities. The boosters, just like the original vaccines, have gone through rigorous clinical trials to make sure that they're, number one, safe, And number 2, importantly, effective. These COVID-19 updated boosters take into account some of these newer strains that we've been seeing in the country and give us stronger protection. If you test positive for COVID-19, it's really important that you stay away from others to not spread the virus. You can go onto our website at myspot.nc.gov/find treatment to also find sites where you can get tested and treated all in one spot, and you can do that even if you have no health insurance.
24-9, our halftime score. East Lincoln leads Northern Nash. And Jay, let's take a look at some highlights. Started almost from the opening gun of the game for Northern Nash.
Yeah, early on, this ball game went back and forth. Keno Jones started off through the air. Randall King, second play on the offensive end for the Knights, and they almost took it into the end zone. They cleaned it up on the next play, getting it into the end zone here with Jones calling his own number, easily getting in, and they were fired up over on their sideline.
First time playing for a title in 2 decades. They scored their touchdown in 59 seconds. Didn't last long, though. A couple minutes later, big run by Daly, and how about this little sideways step away, 35-yard touchdown for the lead for East Lincoln.
A nice response, and Daly showed his talent early on, and then here is Jones. Big play through the air. And it looked easy early on for the Knights. I mean, they were throwing it all over the yard. Field goal opportunity converted on, but that was the only points they got at 9, and then the tide started to turn here. Penalty set up great field position for East Lincoln, and they took advantage of it.
They scored 17 unanswered points in that second quarter. This hook up to Clark in the right corner of the end zone gave the lead back to East Lincoln. And then they just kind of piled on. And how about this tip drill by the defensive lineman, the interception by Niero. Set up the Mustangs again.
And Mazzell is so accurate throwing the ball. Touchdown to Walker. He's 15 for 18 in the first half, making all the right decisions. They had explosive plays, and going into the halftime break, they were able to tack on 3 more points on the board with momentum.
Look at the total numbers, total yards about even. 24-9 is the lead for East Lincoln. Second half for the 3A championship is next. .3A state championship from NC State finds East Lincoln looking for its first title in 8 years with a 15-point lead on Northern Nash. Knights looking for their first title ever. Third quarter underway. Northern Nash will kick it off. It is short, it is angled again, and it is returnable outside the 30-yard line. So NC 529 kickoff. Never too early or too late to start saving for your child's education. Tyler Mazzell, quite a first half. 15 of 18 for 143, a couple of scores, and one near interception that was called it and then overturned, but he's been brilliant the first half.
On the biggest stage, he's played great. He's been accurate. He's making all the right decisions. He's protecting the football, and they've done a nice job mixing in the run and the pass. They've been very balanced throughout the game.
Well, this is a big defensive set for Northern Nash because it still is a 2-score game after that field goal at the end of the first half. They trail by 15. Good start there defensively for the Knights. And Sam Hyman had a chance to get some thoughts from Andrew Ferris, Northern Nash High School head coach at halftime.
Yeah, I asked Coach Ferris, what was your message to the team in the locker room? And he said, we cannot have any more negative plays. We avoid that, we will be good the rest of the way. I also asked him about wide receiver Randall King and his status, and Coach Ferris said he is good to go in the second half.
All right, that's a good sign for Northern Nash. They need all their pieces to come back against a very talented East Lincoln squad. 2nd and 7. The keeper, Mazzell, darting ahead. That collapsed on it quickly. And the pursuit there by Northern Nash and Connor Baker. It's 3rd down.
This linebacking core for the Knights has been so active. See Baker, 33, coming up right off the edge, staying in good position for 3rd and long.
Well, they've been using Daly almost more as a decoy today. He got 9 carries the first half, had that big 35-yard touchdown run. I thought he might be used a little bit more formidably by East Lincoln, but at least not yet. He lines up left to Mazzell on 3rd and 7. Pressure coming. They break it down. Tip pass. incomplete. Big hands by Chris Manning, and that blew up what was looking to be a pretty good middle screen for East Lincoln.
He's played so good tonight in run support. Watch him here recognizing the screen. He's athletic, 6'2", 300 pounds. Just bats it down. It's an important stop for this defense. Now, they do their job. You give the ball back to the offense. But the big senior up front, he's been a force.
And speaking of Randall King, he's back to return this punt. Sorely needed for Northern Nash, trying to come back. This is exactly the start Northern Nash needed. 3 and out. And this bounce punt will be down right around the 35-yard line. Early stage is third quarter. Northern Nash gets the defensive stop, down by 15.
Deer Park, 100% natural spring water, is a proud supporter of high school football in North Carolina. We thank Deer Park for their support and for helping keep the players, coaches, and officials hydrated during tonight's game. Thank you, Deer Park, for your support of high school football in North Carolina. And when it comes to your orthopedic care,
24-9, East Lincoln on top. Third quarter underway for the 3A state title. Northern Nash got what they needed, Jay. And 3 and out. Chris Manning blows up a little middle screen on third down. And now we'll see what adjustments offensively that Northern Nash made at halftime. Plus they get Randall King back after a first half injury.
Well, I think they've got to run the ball more. Like 58 yards on the ground, 3.2 yards per carry. And Keno Jones, I think we're going to see him carrying the ball as well. He's the second leading rusher for his team.
And on first down, Jones will keep after the fake to Trey Battle. And maybe a yard for Jones. And when the game began, we saw Jones kind of slinging it around. He was right on target with almost all of his throws. And then, again, once Northern Nash got kind of knocked back after their opening salvo, just seemed like the rhythm, the confidence was shaken offensively for Jones included. Rushing 5, pressure from the backside, gets a pass off, and just over the fingertips, incomplete. Looking for Davis McKinney, and I think it was that backside pressure that is forced to release this pass a tad early.
Yeah, good job bringing the blitz. That pressure right as Jones threw it, he got hit. Ball just sailed a little bit too long, but there was a one-on-one matchup on the outside.
Yeah, Roseboro on the coverage for East Lincoln. 9 yards to go on third down. And how about this? 5 receivers, 4 to the top of your screen. Keno Jones fires to the right side, tipped, brought in, out across the 45, out near midfield. And that's Ashton Rhodes, who had the game-winning touchdown reception last week to get Northern Nash here.
They only rushed 3, and Rhodes was able to focus that ball. Perfect placement. And then the big tight end makes one man miss. Everybody dropped. That was a huge pickup for the offense.
Battle in motion. First down carry. A lot of steam coming to the left side. And big hits inside the 50 down to about the 46-yard line for Iwan Mitchell. We can see that acceleration, peak form after about 2 steps. And again, spread formation here for the Knights. There's 5 offensive linemen and no help. And this will be Jones on his own. 1 miss, kind of nice pass 2. and lunges forward to the 41. That's going to be very close to a first down.
I like how they're changing up their personnel in there with no backs in the backfield. It's just Jones. You spread the field, and this is a designed run for Jones. Enough of a crease on the left side to open up for Jones to run through.
College foundation of North Carolina, first down. Helping you plan, apply, and pay for college. From the 41, Jones again. He'll flare it out to the flats. Connects with Javian Fenner, but nowhere to go. A bruising hit by Parker Davis.
And Davis sits out. This is a one-on-one tackling situation. This is what you practice during the week, during camp, is situations like that where it's either you make the play or you give up a big run, and Davis made it happen.
Northern Nash fans again unhappy after the tackle and then kind of the step over by Parker Davis, but no taunting penalty. Second down, and this is a diving interception by East Lincoln. Aiden Terrell, a lightning bolt dive in front of the receiver, took it away with two hands and forces the Knights turnover.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 22 for East Lincoln. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. First down, East Lincoln.
Has Terrell ever made a better catch than this one? One-handed, brought it in.
Wow. I mean, first of all, he sifts back the instincts to jump on the ball in front of the passing lane, and then the focus. Look at that. That right arm gets underneath it. What a play.
In the state championship. And then you heard the referee indicate there was a unsportsmanlike call on Parker Davis. We thought there might have been one in the previous play, but Davis got one on the back end of that play. So after the interception, but then move the Mustangs back 15. But they turn over Northern Nash. Second pick thrown by Keno Jones today. He had 6 all year. So Mazzell on first down, improvising now to the sideline, diving effort and incomplete. Looking for Shropshire.
Patrick, that was a heck of a play to give the ball back to your offense, but also to slow down the momentum from Northern Nash. They got to stop on the defensive end, and then their offense was moving the ball. Into a groove. Nice job up front, clearing a path. Joshua Gilbert, 6'6", 340 pounds, led the way getting to the second level.
Mazzell again, this time 0, and there the big tackle there by Northern Nash, and it's going to be Chris Manning again. Brings up second down. 24-9 is the lead for the Mustangs. Manning's had a whale of a game.
He's been so good. I mean, up front, he's commanded double and even triple teams so far.
And still making plays.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to find big guys with that motor and also the quickness and good feet.
4 receivers in this offensive formation on second down. 3-step drop. Pressure from the backside. Down goes Mazzell. And Alan Barnes burning around the tackle, in for the sack.
Barnes, one of the leaders on the defensive side, just flies in off the edge, beats his man, stays low as he comes around. Watch him on the blitz, barely touched, makes a huge play to force the third and long.
It's a loss of 7 on the sack by Barnes, senior linebacker. Third down. And the Knights defense trying to get off the field again. Still down by 15. Midway mark of the third quarter. 3-man rush. Mazzell zigzagging his way out of trouble. Flag throw, and Mazzell chased into the boundary and taken down. And that's Carson Jenkins. And this penalty, I believe, is going to go on East Lincoln. It's in the vicinity of holding. But the Knights can decline it and force a punt. It'd be 4th and long. And that's the discussion on the sideline with Andrew Ferris.
Holding, 58 offense. That penalty is declined, result of the play, 4th down.
So they will decline the penalty and force a second punt to this third quarter from East Lincoln.
Well, on the previous play, they bring the blitz. Now they rush 3, drop into coverage. You get the penalty, but there was nowhere to go for Mazzell. These linebackers have been flying all over the field. This is a really strong group. The 3-4 defense they play.
Please reset the game clock to 6:20.
And they want 7 more seconds added to the clock as Randall King retreats to return this punt. So Ben Cutter will punt it away for East Lincoln. Well, the defense for the Knights, they've done what they've needed to do, what their assignment was in this third quarter. Get an early stop, get another stop. And they need Keno Jones and the offense to come through. This one hangs. King, returnable. But hemmed into the sideline. And very little on that return. The drive will begin for Northern Nash at the 28-yard line. 6:02 left, third quarter. East Lincoln 24, Northern Nash 9. Couple of punts forced by Northern Nash's defense. Knights get the football back, trailing by 15. 6:02 left, third quarter. And Jay, Northern Nash really needs to put some pressure and a heat on East Lincoln. They can only do that by getting a touchdown and making this a one-score game. How do they get it done?
Well, I think they've got to go back through the air, get those explosive plays, and with Reno King back in the ball game, I think you've got to look towards number 2's way.
And a good field level look. Drive begins for the Knights at the 28-yard line. Keno Jones, the senior quarterback, hands it off. Mitchell. Only a couple. I mean, this is just an excellent East Lincoln defense. They have 13 kids they rotate. They all run. They're long. They're quick to the ball.
Well, this is only the third time they've allowed an opponent to score more than 8 points. I mean, they've just been dominant throughout the season. And there's been no give in their game.
Jones unloading. Receiver broke off the pattern, and this is intercepted on the sideline. Northern Nash thought he was out of bounds, but no. Keandre Walker tight ropes the sideline, stayed in bounds, and picks off Keno Jones.
Walker's headed to Virginia. And there's a reason why he's one of the best players in the state. He has the awareness. Easily gets that right foot in bounds. Possession of the ball. Got a touchdown, now an interception. What a game for the senior.
Third interception thrown by Keno Jones. He had 6 in 15 games. And excellent footwork right there by Keandre Walker. A high point of the ball, got the right foot down. The left was out of bounds, but you only need one.
And he's backpedaling. I mean, that is an impressive play.
But just a miscommunication on that pass route. First down, Daly. I mean, you can't put that interception on Keno Jones because the receiver broke off about 6 yards short of where that ball was going. I mean, that was about as easy as a pick as Walker's ever going to get.
Well, now for the offense. Again, still plenty of time here. This game is not over. I think, though, you need to start leaning on the running game. Christian Daly, he's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Hand the ball off to him. Use this clock. Mix in the pass. But you've got a cushion right now where you can really focus on the ground.
That's the Wake Forest commit. Mazzell hands off. This is Daly angling left. Ball comes loose. I didn't hear a whistle. It's picked up by Northern Nash. And Alan Barnes now with a whistle in the background. slow in his approach to the goal line.
Ruling on the field is down by contact.
And there you hear in the background, down by contact. Jay, we'll let you decide.
Number 79, Chris Manning.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, arms down. Brown calls the
As soon as the ball hits, pops loose.
Appropriate call. More of the Nash fans, though, not feeling it. And we get a whistle and a timeout taken by East Lincoln. 3:53 left, third quarter. 24-9 Mustangs.
East Lincoln, first charge timeout and a half.
Reminder coming up after the game, we will select the West Shore Home Player of the Game. Brought to you by West Shore Home, bringing happiness to every home. 24-9 the lead for East Lincoln. Waning moments of this third quarter. Patrick Cadis, Jay Sohnhalter up here in the booth. Sam Hyman down on the sideline. It seems like after all of these kind of 50-50 calls, Northern Nash feeling a little bit slighted. It feels like timeouts are always taken after, which gives the Knight fans more opportunity to just kind of unload their body and their spirits of more dissent.
It's like they just get angrier, stewing it. But they've got to use that frustration to impact the game. And it's been building up. There's some calls they wish they would have gotten. It didn't go their way. But now with this deficit, you've got to use that to your advantage and play at another level. Because you've got less than a quarter and a half here and your season's over with. In order to come away with this game, you're going to have to get some turnovers on the defensive end.
For the big third down stop, can they get it? Yes, they will. Needed 6, got about 4.
On the carry for the
And again, East Lincoln playing with house money right now, up by 15. Have to imagine that David Lubowitz will go the conservative route and send the punt unit onto the field. And here they come. So this will be the third punt forced by Northern Nash's defense in this third quarter. Again, what their duty was coming out of halftime, you got to shut this team out the rest of the way. And so far, so good through almost the third quarter.
No one's back.
So Cutter on to punt it. There's nobody back to return. And of course, Cutter booms one. Lands at the 12. Bounces and checks up inside the 10. Down at the 4 uncontestedly. 53 from Cutter. I mean, that's like hitting a BP fastball into the shrubs at Wrigley Field. 62 down the middle. Big punt by Cutter. And if they were playing for the punt block, nobody got close.
Well, and that's the thing. You've got to take chances when you're down. They put everybody on the line of scrimmage. They didn't get to Cutter in time. And then now you look up and you've got to go 96 yards, 94 yards.
So first down, Jones on the handoff, stepping through beyond the 10, close to the 15-yard line. That's Azaria Laurie. Let's go downstairs to Sam.
Well, we've seen Ben Cutter make plays as a punter, as a receiver, but he's known for his linebacking skills. I had a chance to catch up with him earlier in the week, and he said that he chose West Virginia because of linebacker coach Jeff Coons. He sold him. Why? Before West Virginia offered me, this was last season, Coach Coons told me that he wasn't going to offer me over a 4-star. He wasn't ranked at the time. And then he went on to say, I respected that so much. Every other coach told me I was the best linebacker. This gave me something to work for. And Ben has worked and earned the commitment to West Virginia.
Red Cutter right on cue. Brings down Keno Jones. He needed a couple, got it, so it's a first down for the Knights. 2:10 left in this third quarter. Trailing by 15. Small yardage on first down. More in for a couple.
And for Cutter in this defense right now, the focus has to be just keep everything in front. Do not give up the big play. They've done a much better job that phase after the first couple drives. They've been playing their safeties back deeper, and they've been able to get more pressure on Jones.
Jones is just 8 of 19 today, throws on the move. That's in between a couple of potential targets. On the short side, it was Battle. On the back side, it was Rhodes. And Jones is just not having the day he envisioned here in the state title game. Hoping that the fourth quarter will belong to him.
He's looked towards his tight end, Ashton Rhodes, especially on third down situations. Rhodes, number 99, lined up in the slot.
Third down and 8. Some time this time across the middle, and he hits Rhodes in stride and knocked down close to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 21 and a big third down conversion.
You'll see Rhodes coming across on a drag route, uncovered, the big tight end. There's a mismatch when he's going against linebackers with his speed and size, and Jones finds him.
And Jones again looks for Rhodes again, and he will grab it down to 43. But on that previous connection with Rhodes, that's the first clean pocket with time to throw in a long time for Keno Jones.
Yeah, and the offensive line has to hold up, especially knowing the pressure's coming. It's so important to create the wall and give Jones time to throw. And with Rhodes right now, back-to-back plays to him, I would continue to highlight the tight end, especially working over the middle.
There is number 99, Rhodes, setting up on the left side. He'll be a lead blocker here on second down. Pick up of a couple for Laurie. Play or two left in this third quarter. Third down and 4 for Northern Nash. Still a 24-9 East Lincoln lead. And a lot of action in the neutral zone. And if this is offsides, it's a first down.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty after penalty enforcement, first down.
Yard count pays dividends.
Yeah, outstanding job. Garrett Wingate, the offensive coordinator, telling Jones to go on 2, and then Jones executes it. They pick up an easy first down with the penalty.
Out to midfield. And this drive began at the 6. Straight ahead run, very little. And there's Cutter again. I mean, his pursuit east-west has been good, but I mean, if you're running right at him, this is exactly what Cutter wants. And he's going to let you know. Mitchell felt it. And that will draw us to the end of quarter number 3 for the 3A state title. A scoreless third quarter, so East Lincoln looking for its first state title in 8 years, up 15 with 12 minutes to go. Through the last 12 minutes of the last NCHSAA State Football Championship game. And a mishandled snap, ball comes loose, Jones couldn't get on it, and the Mustangs will! Marcel Johnson recovers the fumble on the first play of the fourth quarter. And Keno Jones, who's thrown 3 picks, just took his eye off the snap coming in.
It looked like he was going to get it, but great hustle. And Johnson, who's been dominant this season along the defensive line, comes up with a huge play. And now the offense, not only do you get it with great field position, but you look up, you got a 2-score lead with the ball inside of 12 minutes. You're in the driver's seat.
And now tight formation. This is Christopher Daly following his blocker. And Manning's going to kind of throw him back in an extra little shove. And one of the offensive linemen for East Lincoln took umbrage with that. Cole Shank, number 71, did not like the way that Chris Manning had ended that play and let him know about it. No flags. Gain of 6. And now Now the Mustangs will be very deliberate. Daly again, second straight carry. I think that might be the first time all night 2 straight plays have gone to number 8.
Well, this is Daly's quarter to close out the ball game. Mizell's been so good today, accurate with the ball. But right now, when you need to finish the ball game, Daly, the sophomore, has been really good today. 13 carries. I'd expect him to be around 20 at the end of this game.
This is now 3rd and 2. Can the Knights defense get off the field here? Daly again, and that's going to be close. Depends on the spot, and yeah, it's going to be enough for a first down, say the officials. And we've talked a lot about the Northern Nash defense in this second half. Yes, they've done everything that they have needed to. Let's not overlook the defense by East Lincoln. Outside of that touchdown they gave up in the first minute on a couple of long plays, they've given up a field goal the rest of the way to this Northern Nash offense.
And they were able to make adjustments and withstand those huge explosive plays early on. They got shocked, but they didn't let it affect their game.
And forced 4 turnovers. Daly cuts it back, room up the middle, close to the 10-yard line. And the only thing that will force him off the field is losing his helmet at the back end of that play. 1st and goal for the Mustangs.
And watch as Daly on this counter just slowly waits for the offensive line to create a path. Joshua Gilbert with Blake Bradford led the way pulling, and then Daly shot through for another first down.
And inside the talk it out NC red zone. Talk it out. Start the conversation. Stop underage drinking. Daly is on the sideline, missing a play because he lost his helmet. 1st and goal. And there's a handoff dancing around. Cutter. So about the 6 with a marker down. And here's your call.
Holding. 71 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay the down.
So 1st and goal, backing up the Mustangs to the 21. Well, we said this at the end of the first half. For Northern Nash, you could live with conceding a field goal because it still was a kind of a supersized 2-score game, down by 15. 8-7 would do it. You can't give up anything here without going 3 scores down. So the Knights need a stop, a turnover, something to get the football back without surrendering points. This one is juggled and dropped. It is incomplete. And let's go downstairs to Sam, a little more on Christopher Daly.
Yeah, I got Ben Cutter's perspective and asked him early in the season, preseason to be exact, did you expect Chris Daly to be good? He said, I expected Chris to be good, but not necessarily great this season. He thought that they were going to split reps the entire season, but has gladly said to me, take a back seat for what has been on display all season long.
2nd and goal. Daly cuts it back from right to left. And they will give him the 18. All right, so if you're the Knights defense now, Jay, it's 3rd and goal. If you force a long field goal attempt here, potentially a miss by the Mustangs, keeps it within 15. How important is this 3rd down play?
This is everything. I mean, right now, I'm loading the box up, do whatever I can to get a stop, but also you don't want to allow positive yards down the field to allow an easier opportunity. You need a missed field goal here to preserve the 2-score game.
And again, that field goal at the end of the 2nd quarter by Milletta was 35 yards from about this exact spot on the field. He didn't clear the crossbar by much, but he did. As we get a timeout taken by the Mustangs with 8:37 to play. We'll step aside and have a very important 3rd down defensive play for Northern Nash, down by 15 for the 3A title. Northern Nash, led by Andrew Ferris in his 5th year. Only one time have they played for a state title. It was 20 years ago. And they're hanging on by a thread here, down 24-9. Early portion, 4th quarter. 3rd down and goal from the 18 for the Mustangs. A fake handoff. The keep by Mizell takes a hit, and he's tackled around the 7. Again, using Daly as a decoy. 4th and goal, and now it's a much shorter, big, important field goal try for the Mustangs.
And I love the play call because with the guard and tackle pulling from the backside, you have the play fake to Daly, but this was designed for Mizell. Not only do you keep the clock running here, but you pick up positive yards to make an easier field goal opportunity.
And instead of a 35-yard attempt, this is now going to be 25 for Maletta. This would make it a 3-score game. With under 8 minutes to go. Clean snap, kick on the way, and Maletta nails it. And the Mustangs lead by 18. And that is a thunderous 3 points for East Lincoln on their way to a 3A title.
Well, their defense creates a turnover right at 11:56. And then you use the clock to get it inside of 8 minutes. Of course you want the touchdown, but the biggest thing is that field goal. Now you stretch out the lead, use more clock, and it limits the possessions for Northern Nash to come back in the game.
That's 20 straight by East Lincoln. They trailed 9-7 with about a minute to go in the opening quarter. It is now 27-9. And the Mustangs have forced 4 turnovers along the way. And now Northern Nash, full complement of 3 timeouts, but they need 3 possessions and 3 very quick scores. Boy, what a night for Maletta. 2 big field goals. Doesn't have the biggest leg, but in the biggest moment, he's come through with 2 big ones here in the state championship game for East Lincoln. And here's the boots. It is a deep one, retreating to the 2. This is Randall King. Once the wide side of the field, they need a big return from King. They may get it. Slowed down a bit, just kind of scraped out of bounds before he really hit another gear. So the return out to the 45-yard line. Somewhat of a shorter field as we take a look at the West Shore home scoring summary. 25 yards, 9 plays, results in the officially 24-yard field goal by Maletta. That now makes it an 18-point game. Run around the left side, Mitchell. Well, we know the quick strike possibility here for Northern Nash's offense. We saw that in the opening drive of the game. They need a couple of those.
Well, you're going to have to really get some big plays through the air. The positive is you have the 3 timeouts. You have offensive weapons where you can't have those plays. It's just been tough going after the first couple of drives. This defense has really settled in.
Keno Jones has the pass batted down. And a 3rd down set up.
This is 4 down territory, so you've got 2 downs to pick up these 4 yards.
Jones now 10 of 23. 3 interceptions. Mishandled shotgun snap in the last series. Trying to find some magic here before it's too late. 3rd and 4. Pressure right in front of him. Dodges, steps forward, fires deep, and it's incomplete. He did not have much time. Offensive line did not give Jones really a minute to set. Looking deep down the field for Ashton Rhodes. And 4th down.
Yeah, this group along the defensive line has been able to get penetration. And they've rushed 3 and 4 at times without bringing that extra defender. They've still been able to get pressure while they drop everyone else.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's a long shot as it is right now for Northern Nash, but this is their state championship hope right in on this play. 4th and 4, and half the team moves before the ball was snapped. All of the receivers on the left and the quarterback, Keno Jones, which tells me that's on the center.
Just miscommunication, and now 4th and medium moves it back to 4th and 9, and now they're bringing out their punting unit.
Yeah, this is shocking. I mean, yeah, when all the skill players move on the count and the ball stays underneath the center's hands, not easy to, or not difficult to deduce. But I am surprised to see the Knights punt it away on 4th and 9. They're 3 scores down, just the 4th quarter. So Bryson Jenkins is on the field. I mean, I know you have 3 timeouts, but at this stage, you need offensive possessions, not defense. The returner slips, ball untouched. They'll be down by Northern Nash around the 15. So 41 on the kick, but the clock is not the ally of the Knights. 7:20 remaining, 4th quarter. East Lincoln leads 27-9. 27-9, East Lincoln. 7 minutes and change remaining until their 3rd state championship. Last one was 8 years ago after a 14-13 win over Washington. I'll tell you what, senior quarterback Tyler Rizell threw for over 2,500 leading into this game. He has been brilliant for East Lincoln today. And he's out of the gun, flanked by a couple of backs. And you figure they're going to keep it on the ground most of the rest of the way. Cutter for big yardage, almost 20 on 1st down.
And all the defenders are just clawing, trying to knock the ball loose. And Cutter holding it with 2 arms as he goes down, protecting the ball. The surge up front, and then Cutter here finishing off the run. Now they're going to go slow motion, use the clock. Rizell looking up, and they're not even going to get set until it gets inside of 10 seconds.
And this is all clock management. And when you're a senior quarterback and you've been leading this program for a couple of years, you know all about how to squeeze every half second off of the clock. With the game on the line, Cutter again, carrying tacklers beyond midfield. And it just looks like the East Lincoln Mustangs, they've been leaning on Northern Nash all game long, and the door is about to be broken down. So Cutter takes it to the Northern Nash 49, and another Hardee's 1st down. A reminder, breakfast just got better. Hardee's new Super Biscuits now available until noon on weekends. Approaching 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. And this time it's going to be Daly. It's Cutter, and now Daly for about 12. And the Mustangs are taking what's left of the spirits of the Knights right away from them.
Now this is the point in the ball game where you just lean on your offensive line. In your running game, everyone knows they're going to keep the ball on the ground. You're still able to get positive yardage. And up front, it's been a heck of a game. Terry Bryant, Christian Garcia, those guys on the right side led the way on that play.
Here's Cutter again. Hesitation move. Now taps the gas. Switches the ball into his left arm. Look at him come all the way across the field. Cutter to the 13. Gashing the Knights for 25 more.
And I know this is a big gain from Cutter, but watch 48's effort. Carson Jenkins running all over the field. This is his 19th tackle on the night. That is exactly what you want. The effort. Right now, Mustangs closing out this game, and your linebacker, there's Jenkins, 19 tackles, hustling all over the field. It's a great leader. What a career he's had. The last ball game.
It has been 4 runs of major yardage in a row for East Lincoln. Cutter for a couple of yards. Let's go downstairs to Sam, who has a little bit more on Carson Jenkins.
Yeah, guys, Carson Jenkins playing for more than just football motivation. I spoke to him earlier this week, and he told me every single game, before every single game, he writes 2 dates on his wrist tape, October 4th and October 7th of last year, in memory of 2 people, his grandmother and one of his childhood coaches, Coach Freeman, who really made a mark on his life early in his career. So thinking of those 2 guys every time he takes the field.
Well, they'll be proud of that effort from Jenkins. Daly bounces outside, surrenders a couple of yards as a result. And the clock now moving toward 4 minutes. And again, Northern Nash has all 3 timeouts. We may not see them use any. I mean, they punted on 4th and 9 a couple of minutes ago, which indicated to me that it's almost as if you're knocking over the king in chess terms. So they may be just sitting on these final 3 timeouts and just saying, beaten by a better team today. Third down now for the Mustangs. They can get another first down at the 3. Rizzo, he's going to throw to the pylon, gets through, but in and out of the hands of Dre Walker. Surprising play call to me.
I'm shocked they put this ball in the air, and that very easily could have been an interception. And if you intercept it, an opportunity to take it all the way up the sideline.
So incomplete, stops the clock, 3:43 left. And Maletta back in the field looking for his 3rd field goal of this contest. Timeout East Lincoln.
Timeout East Lincoln. 3rd and final.
And that will be the Mustangs' final timeout of this contest. Again, if you're tuning in late, Northern Nash scored a touchdown inside the first minute of the opening quarter in their first appearance in a state title game in 20 years. But since then, it has been almost all East Lincoln. They trailed 9-7, but have ripped off now 20 straight points. And here we go to our West Shore Home play of the game, brought to you by West Shore Home, bringing happiness to every home, Jay.
Well, Aiden Terrell had a big one. I mean, this is important to switch the momentum. And a heck of a job focusing in to bring in this key interception. Look at the range, the ability to jump in front of the receiver, haul it in. Gets this right hand underneath to bring it in. His teammates were jacked up after that play. Outstanding job closing it out for his team.
Here's Maletta from 30 for the final dagger. He's been good from 35 and good from 25, and he is good from 30. Deadeye, Christopher Maletta. And his point output individually has matched what Northern Nash has done offensively.
I can hit on the
And the Mustang ready to party. He is saddling up members of the staff on the sideline for East Lincoln. 30-9 Mustangs.
That's a great feeling for that side of the field. And they've really taken control of this ball game. Offense, defense, and special teams has been a huge factor.
Well, we were joking about the mascot on this chilly night in Raleigh when the game began. I think he was in our first shot coming back out of break. Sam Hyman has been working the story on the Mustang for East Lincoln all night long, and here's his dissertation. What have we learned, Sam?
Well, I got to be honest, didn't get a chance to talk to the mascot because mascots don't talk, but I spoke to the one of the administrators for East Lincoln, Preston Springer, and he told me it's a senior. His name is Lucas Morris, who does absolutely everything for the school. He manages and helps coach all the basketball teams. He works for the leadership program across the board, and this is actually the first time he is wearing this mascot suit. And I gotta be honest, he's doing a heck of a job, right?
First time in the suit. Might need to go to the tailor a little bit, but he's wearing it well tonight. And the team getting a real kick out of it. 30-9 the lead. And here's a returnable kick by King. And he's going to be wrapped up around the 23. He just won't go down. 1, 2, 3. Randall King.
We need to give Lucas a game ball.
Oh, he's going to get a ring, right?
Yeah. He's down on the sideline getting some Gatorade. Now he took off. He needs a breather.
And an injured player for the Mustangs here with 3:27 left in this final quarter. Would you get a ring for the hand or for the hoof?
I guess for the hoof, right?
Love it. Great story. Good hustle, Sam Hyman.
So a minute ago, he took off his head to get some water because he's been working so hard. That's awesome.
He just ran right into Maletta.
That's great.
Sorry, buddy. We're all working hard down here. And East Lincoln's Taylor Rasmussen is up and walking off of the field, nicked up on that kickoff return. Senior doesn't get a great deal of playing time, but on special teams, tell you what, this game is special for anybody. All players on both sides, win or lose, to be able to walk into a stadium like this or a stadium like Keenan. I mean, this is what you dream of when you're 6 playing Pee Wee football, 8 years old, JV football, an opportunity to win a conference, go through the playoffs, and walk onto this turf at this kind of institution with this type of football history. That's what it's all about.
And just to get to this point in the season, this is the 16th game. To go through the road in the playoffs.
Unsportsmanlike. 24 on the defense, 15.
And Jay, we've talked about this before. I mean, we've highlighted the D1 recruits on this East Lincoln team. There's some players getting some D2 looks. For almost everybody, if you're a senior, this is it. You're never putting on pads. You're never putting on spikes. Never putting on a football helmet again. So again, that's the undercurrent of a moment like this, especially as it winds down with 3 minutes left in the final quarter.
Well, and I guarantee you, even the guys that go on and play at the college level, this is going to be the most fun they have in their career. You know, unless you go on and win the Heisman and win a Super Bowl, then maybe that changes it. But the best memories I have, and talk to most guys, is the special high school moments that you have, and it's going to be a big one for these guys.
Keno Jones hit it, traffic tipped in the air. Boy, that was almost a 4th interception of the game. And that's Jalen Roseborough, who kind of got knocked off the pick, I think, by some friendly fire on that sideline. An opportunity now for East Lincoln's head coach, David Lubowitz, to get some others on the field. A little taste of a championship. Jones, deep down the middle, into double coverage again, tip, juggle, and caught by Northern Nash's Randall King. How in the world did he bring that one in?
Initially, I thought he was just trying to knock it down so it wasn't an interception. Wow. It's almost like he tipped it to himself. He's playing basketball and hauls it in. What focus.
If ever I drop a carton of eggs, I wanted him nearby. He would have saved 18 of them. First down carry for a couple of yards. Clock now at 2.5 minutes.
For the Knights here, you want to close this ball game out the right way. It's not going to end the way you want. You want to finish.
Well, that's a tough one right here. Chris Manning, who has been everywhere off of that defensive line for Northern Nash, he's hurt. And Manning graduates here in a couple of months as well. (30-9) East Lincoln on top of Northern Nash. Team's huddled near the sideline, and he's trying to walk it off, favoring the right leg. Tough kid, made some big plays, not just tonight, but over the course of his career, and leading this Northern Nash defense through the playoffs over the last month and a half.
As a defensive tackle, he's got 11 tackles tonight, and he's been double teamed all night long. And you see the talent I'm just impressed with his brother, how hard he plays. Big time player.
All right, Northern Nash. Clock running. Taking down Loring at the 20-yard line. That'll bring us under 2 minutes. Both teams undefeated coming in. Northern Nash, again, we touched on this story at the top of the broadcast. They had 8 straight losing seasons from 2011 through 2018. They won 1 game in 2017, and then Andrew Ferris took over. His first year, they were 3-8, and he said, what in the world am I doing here? Can I turn it around? But a couple of years in, there was a hurricane that forced a rescheduling of a game back-to-back at the end of the year for Northern Nash against Rocky Mount and Southern Nash, 2 major programs in that area of North Carolina. And his team competed so well with those high-level programs, he said, maybe this is the right spot. Maybe I do have the right kids. And now, 4 years later, coming up short certainly tonight for a state title. But the journey to get here from where this program was, what a grab on the outside by Trey Battle. But it is remarkable what Andrew Ferris has been able to do with this Northern Nash program to get here.
That's the word. Look at that. Amazing play by Trey Battle. He didn't know if he was going to get hit either as well from the backside, but back to the point about Andrew Ferris. Remarkable sums it all up. How he's built it up, and even though tonight isn't going to be the result they want, they're going to use this to catapult them and use this experience for growth in the program.
All right, let's go to the player of the game tonight, brought to you by West Shore Home. West Shore Home, America's most admired home remodeling brand.
All day long, Tyler Mazzell was leading the way. Accurate with the ball. He had command in the pocket. 16 for 23, 2 touchdowns. And also, he showed off his athleticism. This was a key run right up the middle for the senior to come out here today and have this type of ball game. That's what he wanted on this stage. It's one of the main factors why his team's going to come away with the state championship.
Well, David Leibowitz been with his program since 2007. Became the head coach ahead of the 2017 season. And it's truly a community effort for this high school based in Denver, North Carolina, as this ball is tossed toward the back corner of the end zone, incomplete, nearly picked off. You want to talk about the community support for the East Lincoln program. Every week during the football season, they have what is called Spaghetti Wednesday, where a local church, the Church of Denver, comes with a group of people and piles of spaghetti, feeds the entire team every Wednesday during the season in the school's field house. And they've been doing that for 7 or 8 years. As this is to the back of the end zone, that is caught for a touchdown. And that is Ashton Rhodes with 44 seconds left.
Well, Rhodes has been good tonight. 6 catch, the big tight end, the senior, 6'5". Outstanding focus. He's falling away. Goes up with 2 hands, brings it in. That's the way you want to close the ball game out for the Knights.
So 44 seconds left. Knights will go for 2. Still though a 2-score game. Pressure coming. Jones unloads it somehow and misfires. 2-point conversion is no good. So 44 seconds left. It's 30-15 East Lincoln, and we know there's an onside kick coming for the Knights. That's the tradition for East Lincoln. So even in the darkest days of this program, they've had the community support. They've had the church support. They've had the fan support. They're finally able to pay them back with a year like this. And David Leibowitz, head coach. His wife Megan is here. Been married almost 20 years. Couple of daughters. Not yet at East Lincoln High School. They're on the way, though, in a couple of years. Lincoln Mustang, he's directing the kids right there. He's becoming the Pied Piper.
Lucas.
Follow me. Although next year they need to have a booster pay for some brown gloves, right? Got to fill out the entire costume. So here's the onside try. 44 seconds left. Needs to go 10 yards before the offensive team can touch it. And it's covered up nicely by East Lincoln. And that's going to do it. So a snap or two, and East Lincoln will need to dust off a destination in his trophy case. Is feeling right about now. Worth the trip up from Rock Hill. Victory formation for East Lincoln. And there's the snap. Well, whistle blown prior. Personnel shifting. There's a look at Mike Bias. He built the foundation for the program. And now we do get, not sure if officially a timeout was called or if the officials are just discussing things here.
Timeout. Northern Nash. Second charge
has taken a timeout. 40 seconds left. How about that? Tyler Rizal saying, hey, that's the finger I want my ring on, guys. Who do I see? I don't think we're going to see two more timeouts from Northern Nash. I just think this is Andrew Ferris one last time bringing his defense to the sideline. And if he's not telling them how proud he is of what they've been able to do despite the outcome today, I'd be surprised if that wasn't the message.
Well, that's the message. It's the admiration for what they've done this season. Bringing together one more time and, have that moment. They're shaking hands. They've got a lot to be proud of what they've been able to do.
Well, both teams came in undefeated. Northern Nash was the top seed out of the East region. Blew through Northside, Southern Nash, Southern Durham, Triton in 71st in the last minute last week. East Lincoln, the number 4 seed out of the West, took down the top seed Kings Mountain in the regional semis. Squeezed out a 14-7 win over South Point last week, one of their scrimmaging partners leading up to the start of the regular season. The final snap has been taken. Northern Nash will sit on its final 2 timeouts. Commence celebration, East Lincoln Mustangs. For the 3rd time in school history, East Lincoln State Football Champions. The final 10 seconds will tick off. And the Mustangs lifting the trophy and lifting the head of the mascot. 3A champs, 30-15 over Northern Nash. I think the reality of what East Lincoln just accomplished is settling in, doesn't it?
Well, it's an amazing feeling for what you're able to do, and it's not just today, it's the effort you've put in for these seniors all 4 years, and also the realization that it's over. I mean, part of this is sadness because you want to keep playing, but what a way to close out this chapter of the season. The Knights, this is tough. They wanted it so close. They had an outstanding year, but tonight was the Mustangs' night. They did it all in 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams. They made plays. They were able to close it out.
One of those tears we just saw from Elijah Pitt, number 4 for Northern Nash. Make no mistake, losing here in the championship game does nothing to sully the brand new foundation of Northern Nash football. Congratulations to the Knights. They finished 15-1, state runner-up in 3A. And the East Lincoln Mustangs, 16-0. They run the table and a 3A state title after a 30-15 win. And Let's go downstairs to Sam Hyman, who is with the state championship head coach, David Leibowitz.
That's right. Good vibes all around, Coach. State champions. State champions. How does this moment feel?
I don't know if I actually know what it feels like yet. I'm still trying to take it all in. Just a great night, a great season, great group of kids, man. I'm so proud of Denver. I'm so proud of East Lincoln. I'm so proud of just what these kids did.
You told us earlier in the week this team taught you how to be resilient. Why this team? Why was this team able to do what it did this season?
Even though we're 16-0, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that they had to overcome, sickness and some squabbles, inter-squad squabbles and things of that nature. But they kept coming out on top, and that just showed me that they could look everything in the face and just play football and have fun, and that's what it's supposed to be about.
How much sleep are you getting tonight, Eddie?
I don't think so.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, man.
All right, Patrick, back to you.
All right, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Coach Leibowitz. 30-15, the final. We'll come back with the trophy presentation, Jay's final thoughts, and one last moment to celebrate the 3A title for East Lincoln High School. 30-15, Mustangs over Northern Nash. Well, strike opposed, East Lincoln Mustangs, 3A state champions, 30-15 winners over Northern Nash. Jay Sohnhalter, your final thoughts of the accomplishments of the Mustangs this year?
Well, it's one thing to win the state championship, but they did it undefeated, and that's a special mark. Offense was great tonight. The defense closed it out. A lot to be proud of for this group, and Coach Leibowitz down there, you saw the excitement, and they're going to have a lot to celebrate.
All right, 30-15 is our final. There's the trophy and the 2022 banner for the new 3A state football champs. Well, all of us would like to take a minute to thank the great folks at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and these broadcast sponsor partners. They are West Shore Home, North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, the College Foundation of North Carolina, Hardee's, Talk It Out NC, NC 529, and Ingalls Markets. All of these sponsor partners, through their contributions to the program, make these championship games possible for all of our viewers at home. So for Sam Hyman down in the sideline, for Jay Sohnhalter, my season-long partner, and our entire production crew, Patrick Heenis saying so long from Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, where for the third time in school history, the state championship trophy coming to Denver for the East Lincoln Mustangs, defeating Northern Nash 30-15. Happy holidays to all of you. Thanks for watching, and good night from Raleigh.
Ever since my boots first hit these streets, had to scratch and claw, made me hard to beat. They were real early mornings and late nights. Had to put in the time just to get it right. Now it's time to make my stand. Gonna show the whole world just who I am. This is the big time, ready, set, go. Work so hard.